Hello, everybody. Welcome. I am excited to be coming at you all right now. I am joined here today by the Chiefs owner in the Illuminati Madden League, Nick. Nick is also has his hands in a couple other pots. For those who may not know Nick, he owns and operates, I believe, the biggest CFM themed Discord server on the Discord, to my knowledge, Madden Core. And I believe you also run a couple leagues. Is that right, Nick?
Yeah, so I co-run RDFL with Mark, who you all obviously have had on the stream before, and I've been in and out of commissioner roles in IFL as well.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. So I first of all thank you for hopping on here and doing this show with us. I'm interested to chat with you a bit about your spot in the Illuminati Madden League, but I would also like to kind of take a portion of the show here and just talk to you a bit about Madden Core. Before we dive into it, have you done any like interviews or any media like this before?
Really, I think this is my only time. I jumped in one commissioner roundtable with you. I don't know if you remember, maybe over a
Yeah,
year ago,
yeah.
representing RDFL, but besides that, I haven't really had much media activity.
Very nice, very nice. Well, I'm excited to get you in here.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. I appreciate you having me on.
So talk to me about Madden Core. Where did you? I'm not too up to speed on the history and kind of like the origin story of it, right? Are you the founder of Madden Core?
So it was founded by, you obviously know, CR and myself
Okay,
back
yeah,
in back in February of 2021. And there's always been a lot of drama regarding CR recently. So I'm the only owner now because he stepped down over about a year ago. But it's morphed into a lot of different things over the years. It started off primarily as just a place to recruit and find leagues, and then it's turned into more of an overall community for football fans and Madden fans to come together. And I would say we're primarily, in my opinion, now an NFL chat, because we could have hundreds of people that'll be in chat on game days,
yeah,
but that doesn't mean our Madden aspects aren't there either, as we still have occasional Madden tournaments and our recruitment channels are heavily used as well.
yeah. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it's the largest Madden server by a landslide. Isn't it like 7,000 members now?
Yeah, we're at 7,200.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Um, and in the mix of all of this, something else that I find incredible about it is your age. How old are you, Nick?
I'm 17, almost 18.
What the heck, man? I did you catch that last the commissioner roundtable we did? I think like over the weekend.
Yeah, so I actually just watched it today. I kind of skimmed through it.
So in it, I don't know if you caught it. I don't know if it stuck out to you, but one of the guys on it, I believe it was Freight Train that said it, but he kind of hampered on the younger generation a little bit and kind of talked about how like there's not a big pull towards like the love of CFM, I guess, within like the younger generation. Like I hear him say that, and I think there's a lot of people within like the older Madden generation, because like there's a lot of people that have been doing CFM for a long time, right? There's a lot of people that have this mentality that the community is old, but I look around and I see a lot of young guys like yourself that are taking the ball and running with it, and you're not only running with it, Nick, but like you're the head of the largest CFM themed server in the space. Like that, like by proxy, puts you at an incredible leadership role within the space. Like how do you like you hear that, like I say that, like what do you think when I say that?
Well, I'm just honored because I would have never thought, a few years ago that I would be in this position. I started in Discord CFMs maybe 3 or 4 years ago, just casually. Started. I actually joined your server back when it was run by I think Lix and a few other people, and
Yeah.
I was just inspired because I saw how toxic the community was back then, and I was like, hey, if I can make a server that would do the same thing this server does, but actually have a more positive chat and moderated recruitment channels, I thought that'd be a good impact to the community. And I never thought it would grow this big. I was just praying it would reach 1,000 at some point.
Yeah.
That took almost a year, and for it to have this much influence is just really cool for me to see.
I would throw in a disclaimer, right? I would throw in a disclaimer in all that you said there by saying that by the time I came into ownership of the CFM network, Lux was well on the outs, right? And his shenanigans have no influence on what DCFM network
Oh,
currently
of
is.
course, I didn't mean to say that
Yeah.
at all. That was a
No,
long,
no.
long time ago.
Yeah. I feel you. I just wanted to clarify that because Lux is he's special. He's special.
No,
And
of course,
I
it's a
say that
completely
in
new
a
operation now.
not I say that in a not bad way. I'll say it to his face. Right? He's special. But we'll leave that at that. And like your goal of creating a more, I guess, welcoming space, not so toxic, not so hostile. Like that is like a legitimate thing. Like I look over at your guys' server and what you're doing in Madden Core and the integrity I see within the way it's run, it is phenomenal. And like just the whole toxicity, like when I took over the CFM network, like that was something that we dealt with for probably over a year trying to pivot away from that reputation. And like still to this day there are still some people that point out like you like the shenanigans of old, right? So it still kind of comes up and it still lingers, but reputation I think is probably one of the most powerful things you can have in life, right? You will spend a lifetime building your reputation, and it takes one moment to destroy it. And people are prone to remember your flaws, like your bad moments, your failures, more than your good moments. So it is difficult to build a good reputation. It's difficult to maintain a good reputation. To do so is a great accomplishment, and you guys have done that. So major props, major props.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And back to the point too, where a lot of the older generation that's been playing Madden for a long time, not seeing as much enthusiasm from younger generations. I would, from my experience, that's completely false. I've been in so many leagues where it's almost too much to the extreme, where there's a lot of immature behavior going on, and people get frustrated by that. Because I've had multiple complaints from commissioners that like, oh, all the people that are joining from Madden Core are these like immature 12-year-olds that just mess everything up, and which obviously has positives and negatives because it means there's the younger generations getting more involved, while at the same time it's not people who are more mature and are wanting more you know realistic experience don't want a bunch of immature kids
Yeah.
ruining their field.
I think the immaturity and the toxicity, right? I think that it's on both sides. I think probably one of the most toxic servers I know is a bunch of old dudes, right? Um, I think it's
You've seen a
two
couple of
way.
servers out there.
Yeah. Um, I think there's a lot more. I think there's a lot more. How do I want to say this? I think there are a lot more of like your generation out there on the front lines doing cool stuff within the space than what some of the older heads may realize. So I'm going to ask you a question. What league right now do you believe is putting out the dopest graphics? Like when you think of like what is a league that is like a champion of like of graphics within the CFM space, like what leagues come to mind?
So I don't want to offend anyone because I'm not familiar with every league, and
Yeah.
there's probably some leagues that have far better graphics that I am not unaware of. But Julian over in
Okay,
IFL,
stop. That
he is
was
a
the
massive.
answer. That was the answer I was looking for. The IFL. In my opinion, Inferno is probably they probably have the best graphics in the space right now. I would say it's a toss up between IFL and Crossfire because Crossfire is just like Crossfire is Crossfire, right? But IFL, Julian is a young guy like yourself. I believe he's a little bit older than you.
Yeah, I think he's a couple years older. He's
Yeah, and then
Yeah, but
also,
he's going to a professional career in graphics
mhm,
too. I think
yeah,
yeah.
not only Julian, but he's got another guy working under him. I think is I J what is that? JGC, right?
Yeah,
This
yeah, yeah.
guy is like a workhorse over in the IFL, and he's been doing these like graphics that like I thought it was Julian doing it, right? But he's been doing this like game of the week graphic to advertise their game of the week, and then after the game of the weeks, he responds with like a results graphic, and like he like directly responds to the game of the week graphic with the results graphic. It looks super cool, and they're both kind of branded in the same way. It's super cool. Like I thought Julian was doing this, and like I've been seeing like this pattern of posts over there for quite some time, and every time I look at it, I'm like, dang it, Julian, that is freaking amazing. And then sure enough to come find out it's not Julian doing that graphic. It's this JGC guy, and JGC Julian told me the guy's 16 years old.
That's what the younger generation has to offer because there's more passion when it comes to technology, media, graphics, etc., which I think makes as a whole nother element to franchises, which we haven't seen before until I think pretty recently. So to see the enthusiasm and people really putting time and effort into elevating their leagues to the next level is really good to see.
Yeah, I agree. The media stuff has been around. However, I think the accessibility of it is becoming a lot more. Like before, like 5 years ago, like there were maybe two or three guys that were pushing like these dope, incredible graphics, right? Like I think Crossfire were like taking like they were like selling like templates for like an insane amount of money there for a while, like access to like their whole file, and like people were playing like crazy money for it, right? There wasn't a big market for it, and now at this point, like every other person is posting insane graphics. Like I remember like if you had like 5 years ago, man, if you had a graphics guy in your league, like you hit the mother load. Like Jesus was in your league. Now there's so many guys that are doing it. It's like, yeah, well, whatever. Yeah, yeah. Like, come on, do it. But man, it's a cool time. It's a cool time.
Yeah, like if you have someone that can do graphics in your league, it elevates it to a whole nother level because like that's something that I've never been. It's never been a strong suit of mine. So I've always
Yeah.
looked to have someone that can do that in every league I've ran. So, and the other thing I'd like to mention is having someone that can also do commentary in
Mm-hmm.
leagues. Is there's some obviously amazing people in the community like Snipes and Evo, etc. But it's nice to have someone in house that really is more familiar with the league, familiar with the players.
Yeah.
So I think can add a whole other element.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I used to do too, which was really nice. But they discontinued it recently.
Who was that?
IFL they used to do in house commentary,
Yeah.
but it's a big challenge and it's very time consuming to set up. So I don't blame anyone for not having it.
I think that as well, commentary is something that is a lot more accessible than what it used to be. And I think as we go along, as we continue to grow, I think it's going to become more and more accessible to leagues. Like the first league I ever ran, like I'm an old fart dude. Like the first league I ran was like over 10 years ago. And we had a live stream of a Super Bowl, and it was a big deal, dude. We had like I'm showing my age with this. We had like this, so we had a forum, okay, because like group chats like Discord wasn't a thing. We had a forum, and then there was I think it was called like Ustream. Maybe it was like Twitch before Twitch. You could embed it into your forum, and we had the stream embedded into the forum. And basically, what it was, one of the guys in the Super Bowl took their laptop and their webcam, turned it to their TV, and were like pulling in the feed from their laptop like webcam, pointed at the TV. And like back then, like that was a big deal. That was dope technology. That was super cool. And like it was super cool. Now if someone did that, it'd be like, what the heck are these morons doing? Like it'd be bad. But we've
Yeah,
come a long way.
that's dedication right there. Yeah, just technology has gone so far. Like without Twitch or YouTube and all the software, none of this would be possible.
Yep, it's just going to get more and more accessible. So it'll be cool to see where things go. Um, so shifting gears a bit, right? Like, let's talk about the Illuminati Madden League. Evo is flying incredibly high on you. He did a I guess pre-launch playoff predictions, and he's got you in as I believe the number one seed of the AFC. Um,
Really,
is
I
he
didn't even
right?
notice.
Is he right? Are you a one seed? I think someone, I don't remember if it was Evo, but I think someone floated the ideal of you going 17-0. Are you that good, Nick?
I'm not gonna prop myself up to that level. I'm for sure taking a few losses this year. And I consider myself to be one of the most inconsistent Madden players of all time. Like I can go 9, 10, 11 straight and then drop 4 in a row, and that's been seen in. You could ask anyone in RDFL or IFL about that. But we'll see how it goes.
What
My hope is
is
my,
what
my
is
hope
your
is to make the playoffs. I'm not going to focus on the 1 seed yet.
what is your best seasonal record within a 32 man franchise?
I think my best record probably would have been 15 and 15 and 1 back when it was a 16 game season.
Very nice. Do
Yeah,
you
but
remember the
I
one
haven't had
loss?
anything like that recently.
Do you remember the one loss?
I believe I lost to a Buccaneers user.
I gotcha.
I believe. I
And how
it
many
was back.
Super
It was back
Bowls?
in. It was back before I was on Discord, and it was on a Instagram group chat,
Instagram
which
group
was
chat.
which was pretty brutal.
Yeah, I'm an old fart, man. Like I know nothing about Instagram group chat.
It's basically if it was like a iMessage group chat.
Yeah, that's cool. How many Super Bowls do you have in 32 man CFMs?
Just one, and it was that year I went 15-1.
Oh, just one, just one.
Just one.
So,
I'm a playoff choker. I've lost probably 6 championship games.
oh, that's rough. That's rough.
But in RUFL, we're about to hit the wild card round, and I'm with the Houston Texans, and we're going to be 13-4. So
13-4
fingers
with the
crossed.
Texans. That's pretty impressive. What's that team looking like?
So I drafted CJ Stroud in last offseason. I got him up to X Factor. He's been playing out of this world. Probably going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Made a trade for Mike Evans, who has 19 touchdowns, which don't tell Mark because that might seem a little unrealistic. But he's a red zone threat, so I can probably get away with it.
I 13 or you said 19 touchdowns with Mike
19.
Evans. I think that should be fine. What's the record for most touchdowns by a wide receiver?
22. So
Yeah, it's fine. Like tell Mark to get off it.
yeah, come on. Be
Like
a little more
he
lax.
might be cute, but like it doesn't matter, man. Like back off. Don't abuse your cuteness.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, man. So, we are pushing 20 minutes here. I want to wrap this up. Looking at the Illuminati Madden League, I need you. I need you to blast somebody. Who are you going to blast? Who are you going to call out? Give me some content here, man. Give me some content here. Blow someone up.
Let me think about this for a second. You know, I'm going for Buck this year.
You're going for
I,
Buck?
Buck. I took taken two horrific losses to him recently. Both were choked leads. Upset about it. Not happening again. He's going down.
And Buck is, I believe, the Raiders owner.
Yep,
So
in my
there will
divisions.
be two matchups between you guys this season, your Chiefs and his Raiders. Are you sweeping them?
That's the plan. Better
That's
happen.
the plan. Very nice. Are you also sweeping
I'm gonna watch
Julian?
my film.
Are you
Sorry.
also sweeping Julian? Julian and his Chargers?
That's a tough ask this week, Bucky and Julian, but
I need you to sweep both Buck and Julian. Get it done, okay?
it's gonna happen.
Very nice.
Got my
Very
commitment.
nice. Very nice. Very nice. Well, Nick, thank you so much for hopping on here. I appreciate you hopping in, doing this. I appreciate you being a part of the league. And I appreciate everything you're doing over at Madden Core. And if I can ever do anything to help you, feel free to ask. I always get your back, man.
Of course, I have so much respect for you. Excited to see what this league does.
Very nice. All right. Well, take care, man.
All right. See
All
you.
right.